Happy New Year! My name is Latasha Johnson, and I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. I am the owner and creator of Starring You, which is a website that's dedicated to providing digital marketing tips and tricks to bloggers and small business owners. And I'm also in the process of starting another website that is called Nature's Back. And Nature's Back, that website is not quite up and running just yet, but it will be geared towards providing a lot of health and nutrition and fitness tips and sharing some inspirational stories from a Christian perspective. So I am the owner and creator of those two different websites, and I am so excited to be starting this podcast because starting a podcast has been on my bucket list for a while. And quite frankly, I don't know, I was kind of procrastinating and trying to figure out the technology and things of that nature. But again, I think most of it was due to fear. And that's what I wanted to discuss with you guys today. I just wanted to let you know that in 2018, it is extremely important, so important to invest in yourself. And I'm going to dig into a couple different reasons why that is the case. So, one of the reasons why I feel like it's extremely important to invest in yourself is because these degrees, guys, are not magical, okay? They're a sheet of paper. I have met so many people that are extremely talented that don't have a degree, okay? And for the record, I'm not against getting an education. I'm not against degrees. I have one myself, but I also know that it's more important to invest in someone's personality and their competency and being able to learn a particular skill set. And the reason why I'm creating this video is because I've been thinking about this. I've been having conversations with friends and family, and I actually recently read an article not too long ago that was talking about how this recruiter chose someone that didn't have the technical educational requirement for the position, but they chose them based off of their personality. And that to me is extremely important. Okay. And I'm not saying that we should just always hire off a personality, but I feel like there should be a blend. And in today's society, I feel like too many people focus on the technical and then, you know, alienate the fact that that person has common sense, for lack of a better way of explaining what I'm trying to say. So, one of the reasons why I think it's really important to invest in yourself is because, you know, there seems to be an increase in these companies that are solely focusing on someone's educational background. And to me, I think that's not necessarily the best way to go. You need to have a mix. And in quite frankly, skills can be taught, but common sense cannot. Okay. And let's face it, common sense is not all that common these days, guys. In the event that you've been seeing what's going on with the news and just all these things that are happening in the world in general, common sense is not all that common. So I don't want people getting themselves into debt over a piece of paper. In my opinion, you should really focus on really trying to gain the skills and honing in on those talents that you know that you possess. So if you have a strong desire to really get into technology and, you know, UX design, user experience, or something of that nature, something that you may not have that piece of paper for, do what I did. And that is basically learn everything that you can about that particular skill. And then, you know, once you get the funds, if you feel free to go ahead and go back to school and get that sheet of paper. But quite frankly, with the way that technology is set up today, guys, I've actually been able to get positions and different freelance assignments by just showing the fact that I actually took initiative to learn the particular skill set that the client needed. Okay. So all of this to say, invest in yourself. Don't feel like you have to go the typical 4-year route. If you don't have the funds, that does not mean that your future is doomed in any way, shape, or form. And I just hate the fact that I've been running into people that feel like they aren't, for lack of a better way of saying this, they aren't worth as much because they don't have that particular degree. Never allow someone to make you feel that way. You are someone, you have the skills, okay? You may not have the sheet of paper, but you have the competency to get the skills that you need. And quite frankly, I will always hire someone. When I get in that position to hire more folks, I'm always going to hire someone, in my opinion, that is street smart rather than someone that is book smart. Because again, someone who's street smart can think on their feet. They have the capability to go out there and get the skills that they need. Someone who's just focused on books, theory can only take you so far. And that's just not how life operates, right? You need to make sure that you have a balance of both. And another thing, and why you should invest in yourself, guys, is it because it increases your creativity. If you're constantly outsourcing things to other people, and I get it, there are times and situations where you need to outsource, but if you're constantly outsourcing out of fear, when you invest in yourself, you're going to change your mindset, okay? You're just going to change your mindset because one, you may not have the funds to always outsource. So you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and learn some of these tools yourself. And you would be surprised how much you can learn when you change your mindset, okay? So really investing in yourself is a mindset type of deal, and it does increase your creativity. Another thing that investing in yourself does is that it helps you diversify your income. And so what I mean by that, guys, is that a lot of us, and myself included, I went to college thinking that I'm going to have this awesome career. And don't get me wrong, I did have a pretty decent career and I still do. But I thought that I was just I had this magical piece of paper and I knew how determined I was and passionate I was. But all the passion and determination in the world doesn't necessarily guarantee you the ability to climb that corporate ladder. And so, long story short, guys, I was actually laid off from my position after being with this company for about 6 years. And it really kind of jarred my thinking because I was just like, I've done everything right. And yeah, I've been laid off a couple times. And it was very frustrating for me. It was frustrating because I did everything right. I went to school. I put in all the hard hours, and yet and still this kept happening. And so before I was laid off, I actually had the foresight to create Starring You. And so Starring You, I'm very passionate about digital marketing and technology. And so I created this outlet, and I'm so glad I did because when I got laid off, it wasn't as detrimental as it could have been. Okay. So I'm saying all this to encourage you to really invest in yourself. If you don't have a blog, I encourage you to set one up. You may not want to think of it as a business, but when you set up your blog, I want you to think of it as a business because that's exactly what it can be. Okay. And plus it's just going to save you so many headaches down the road when it comes to taxes and all that fun stuff. So make sure that you set it up as a business. Treat it as a business, guys. And even if you can't set it up as an S corporation or an LLC, treat it as a business. You can easily still start a blog as a sole proprietor. So again, diversify your income because I actually, while I was working my 9 to 5, I set this up. And so it wasn't as detrimental when I was laid off, which was without it came out of the blue, guys. And that's another thing why you really need to invest in yourself because these companies are not loyal to anyone. Okay. Here today, gone tomorrow. And quite frankly, if you don't have a backup, you're going to be left out in the cold. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And here's another thing, guys, that you need to think about. Creating your blog can actually propel you into your future career. So let me back up for a second because you're probably wondering what in the world does that mean? So I created this blog and honestly, it's opened up opportunities for me to do things that I didn't necessarily have in my previous experiences. Okay. So I've been able to work on websites for clients. I've been able to do a lot of the social media campaigns. Yes, I've done it in my previous experiences, but my previous experiences didn't allow me the opportunity to do it as much as I wanted. Okay. And so I wanted to get even more experiences. I wanted to help out even more people. And starting my blog allowed me the opportunity to actually jump in 110% with something that I was extremely passionate about. I've developed 5 courses, and I got to be honest, guys, I never thought I had it in me to do a lot of the things that I've been able to do. So creating courses, building websites, all of these things, all of these projects that I've been so passionate about and learning, I allowed Starring You to be the outlet to share that expertise that I gained over the years with you. And you can do the same. It doesn't have to be technology related. If you've got a passion about sewing or woodworking or boxing or fitness, things of this nature, guys, it can be anything that you want to do. But you've got to take the time to invest in yourself. If you find yourself working crazy hours for someone who eventually is just going to end up laying you off down the line, you need to prioritize what it is that you want in life. Okay. So you need to make sure that you are taking the time to truly invest in yourself. Sit back, take an hour, take your lunch or whatever, and really evaluate what it is that you want out of life, because these companies are not loyal to people. Okay. And I'm not saying that to be bitter by any means, because, I learned a lot while I was in these various positions. But I also saw a lot that didn't sit right with me. So a lot of times it really does boil down to who you know instead of what you know. And I'm sure a lot of you can agree with me on that. And so that part I really wasn't feeling, because I'm a very kind person, but I'm also very direct, and I'm not the type to suck up to people. So yeah, so that sometimes that may rub people the wrong way, but again, that's me, And if I know what I'm talking about, and you ask me a question, I'm going to be very direct in giving you my answer. I'm not going to be a jerk about it, but I'm not going to, I'm not a yes person. I'm not just a yes man. I'm not going to be there just to, back you up constantly. I'm not a robot. So I do have feelings and I do have opinions, and I'm going to express them if you ask me. So again, a lot of times I did end up working in situations where who outweighed what what you actually knew. And on top of that, there were some situations where, for lack of a better way of saying this, I worked for people that were a couple fries short of a Happy Meal. And so again, I knew that I had to take a moment to assess what I wanted out of life and to make sure that I took time to invest in myself. So I just wanted to create this video for all of you out there that are struggling, trying to figure out, how can I make this work? I want to do something different. And if you want to do something different, I am here to help you 100%, guys. So if there are different topics that you would like me to create tutorials for, I don't want you guys not achieving your dreams because you're not familiar with certain technology. Okay. If you're stuck on how to create a blog, I have a course about that. If you're not sure how to go about branding your company, I have courses regarding that. If you're not sure about mastering your niche, I have a course that's called Master Your Niche. So if you're not sure about marketing research and all that good stuff, I have courses that I created in order to make sure that you have the tools to invest in yourself. And you'll also notice a lot of my courses are not crazy expensive. That's not to say that you're not going to get value, because my courses definitely have a lot of value. But it was more important to me to make sure that they were affordable. Tons of value, and making sure that they were affordable, because I truly do want this to be your time to invest in yourself. Notice I didn't say a year. Okay. Make 2018 your year to invest in yourself. Make this, you can invest in yourself right now if you wanted to. And so, again, I know this wasn't a tech tutorial, but I was so empowered to make this video because I know from experience that investing in yourself can take you a long way. And some people out there may not have someone telling them what I'm telling you. So I truly hope that you take a moment to invest in yourself. Please let me know your comments and thoughts. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.